I can't imagine how terrible it feels to watch someone you love so much having been diagnosed with a terminal illness. Watch them suffer so much, knowing there's absolutely nothing you can do to save them. That has to be the most disgusting feeling in the whole world, right?
Honey, disgusting doesn't even cut it.
Oh, man.
Let's try heartbreaking, soul shaking, knowing that there's absolutely nothing that you can do in your capacity, regardless of how much you love them. There's nothing you can do to save them.
That's terrible.
Horrible feeling, the most
That has to
horrible
be
feeling.
devastating. Oh my God.
Oh,
hi guys.
Hey,
What's up with you all?
y'all doing all right? Well, all right then.
This right here,
Ooh, Teddy.
this caramel mixed in cream and dark chocolate all together is,
Mia, bello me.
oh yeah, is Ambassador Woman. Oh yeah, yeah. Say it with me, y'all. Ambassador Woman. Oh yeah, yeah. Ambassador Woman. Oh yeah, yeah.
Well done, sir. Well done, ma. At your service. And this right here is the one, the only, HRH, Her Royal Highness, Tonia Ngozi Udena.
Ooh, it's nice to meet all of you. Hi. So anyway, today is all about Lumi's journey. Lumi is a beautiful young woman who is a widow, and she has 2 children. The oldest is 12 years old, and the youngest is 10. Over our phone conversations, she cuts across as someone who has a fantastic personality. I can tell.
I took a note of that too. It's in her voice.
She sounds really nice.
She's got like a sing-songy voice. You know those kind of people that talk like
and it sounds like
crying,
they're singing,
but
right?
They're not crying.
Oh,
She talks like
God.
she's crying or singing, and then you
really
just know,
nice.
honey, you in the choir. Because if you aren't in the choir, you need to be in the choir.
Did she ever mention that she had a job? I think she said when we spoke on the phone, she said something like she talked about not having a job or something like that. I'm not sure. Lumi grew up in a polygamous setting, but she doesn't really strike me like someone who grew up in that kind of setting because I kind of have a certain kind of impression about people who grew up with like with their dad
Packing
with-
wives.
that kind of thing.
That's the best way to put it.
Because
really.
growing up, I had these neighbors.
You did?
Yes, I had these neighbors who were in the polygamous setting. How do you even say that?
That's it. I said it. The man was packing wives.
Okay. So their dad had like a few wives. I don't know how many for sure. I was pretty young then. So, it was always trouble. It was always screaming and shouting. And someone was always mad about something. People were always constantly fighting there. So that's the...
I bet you it was about money.
Well, I don't know for sure. I was too young to, try to find out what it was.
Ooh.
Well, I wasn't trying to get killed. I mean,
Honey, I never would have met you. I'm so glad.
and that would have been so bad.
Bad. That would have been a catastrophe.
So anyway, these neighbors of mine, they were always fighting, and they had, we always had this terrible impression about them. Like it was always crazy around there. So I always had this impression that anyone who comes from, yeah, that kind of setting.
If you have to be Nigerian to understand that.
So I always had this impression that anyone who came from a polygam, I mean, no offense really, but it's just what I thought as a kid. So that anyone who came from a polygamous family would be, like, I don't know, they would have like a different attitude towards everything. But Lumi is different. She's totally different. I mean, she's completely changed my impression about polygamy, growing up in a polygamous home. She's really calm and like the way I see it, she's like everything that you kind of want in a woman. She's packing the whole nine. You know what I'm saying, right? So anyway, so Lumi is a really nice woman. But speaking about polygamy, would you ever accept a marriage proposal, to be like a third wife or a fourth wife or a fifth wife or even a sixth wife.
Are you serious right now?
Yes, I asked you a question.
Well, no. And I'll tell you why, people. Hold on while I grab my brush. So here's the dealio. I regard myself as a caring person, and caring is sharing, right? But honey, I can share my ofe nsala. I can share my banga soup. Honey, I can even share my abula. Begiri ewedu and all that arrangement. I love
What
it.
can't you share?
My man. I ain't about to share my man.
Okay, I understand.
Honey.
I understand you don't want to share your man.
Next question, please.
Come on.
I'm even getting upset.
I don't.
Can you ask?
I don't know.
Girl.
I don't know much about being being from a polygamous home, but it may not be entirely as bad as you. I don't know. I don't know.
Because you're looking at Lumi, she turned out really well, and
Yeah, maybe that's the impression I'm getting right now.
But okay, you asked me, and I answered it with you though. So I'm gonna ask you right back. Right back at you. What do you think about polygamy? Would it ever be something you would consider? I don't know. I'm asking. So you forced me to answer. I'm gonna force you to answer this one. So yes. Or no. Or maybe. I don't know. I want to know.
I may want to try polygamy for maybe 6 months to a year, maybe. I don't know. It's just I don't know. I'm just curious. I would want to be in a polygamous home as one of the wives, maybe, just like with the investigative kind of mindset.
Why?
Look, it's not such a bad thing, right? I may actually want to try polygamy for about 6 months to 1 year.
And share everything?
Well,
I don't know.
I'm not sure how it happens there, but that's the reason I want to find out, right? I'll just get in there like an investigative journalist. And,
like me.
Yes, like you. That'd be nice. Or maybe as an undercover agent.
Whoa.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
Undercover
agent.
But I don't know. If you're looking for adventure, honey, go climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Then you can get your adventure buzz. But
I'll just put it straight away in my bucket list that I'm going to try polygamy. I'll just do it immediately.
What? Are you sure you? I can't, y'all.
Done and dusted.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless right now. You know what? She hasn't thought this through. So she probably is running a little bit of temperature. So I don't know.
Fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with me. I'm just an adventurous woman who wants to try things.
Climb Mount Kilimanjaro, my darling. That's adventure for you.
I said I want adventure. I'm not trying to commit suicide.
I don't know too many people that committed suicide from Mount Kilimanjaro.
Well, I'm afraid of heights.
Oh, you're afraid of heights, but you're not afraid to be seventh wife? Or did we say six, seven? What number was it? I don't remember. I can't keep up with you.
That can be such a terrible thing. Well, it's just polygamy. There are people in it already. It's not like anybody's dying being married to a man with multiple wives.
You know what?
I just said for 6 months, if I can find someone who would agree with me to be married to him for 6 months to a year, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Hold on, darling.
That would be a bad idea.
That's another thing. You said 6 months, yeah? That's your thinking. It takes two to tango. My thing is, would he know? Are you signing a prenup saying, darling, I'm just going to be married to you for just 6 months?
A prenup? Why would I sign a prenup?
There you go. So you see, you're not in this marriage thing alone. What if he doesn't agree to the 6? Oh, wait, let me even ask.
I wouldn't need to sign a prenup because they'll there'll already be an agreement saying it's just for, I don't know, maybe 1 year or less.
And you think, honestly,
Yes.
you honestly think that you'll find someone who'll
Come
agree to
on.
this?
People, there's so many people out there who are also adventurous. It's not, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. Someone will want to, oh, okay, 6 months, that's not a bad thing. I could just, teach her everything about polygamy, just to let her have a taste of it. Because that's just what I'm talking about. I just want to have a taste of it. It's not like I really want to be married.
Okay, Fab, if you're like me and you think that Tonya has gone and lost her damn mind, place your comments in the comment box below.
It's okay. Leave us a comment and tell us what you think about
We need to know what
polygamy.
you think about.
Tell us your views about polygamy, if you would want to try it or not, what you love about it, what you hate about it. And if you ever wanted to try it, what kind of man would you want to try it with? And if you have any polygamy crushes, you can even put their names down. Yes, polygamy crushes.
And if
like people who already have, men who already are in polygamy, but you still kind of like them, and you want to maybe I can.
And you want to be wife number 6?
I don't know. Come on. Life is all about adventure. Come on.
Live-
Don't be boring.
Boring? Okay.
What? While she's still in shock, don't go anywhere. This show is not over. As a matter of fact, it's just beginning. Stay tuned.
Do not blink. It has been months and months and months of sleepless nights, blood, sweat, and tears. And finally, we're here. Emotion Station. Yes. Thank you, Lord.
Ooh, finally we can
Finally, you can breathe.
On today's episode, we have a beautiful young woman who has shouldered and is still shouldering a terrible pain from the loss of her very, very dear one. Her name is Lumi. Your name is wonderful, by the way. It has a nice touch to it. Beautiful, like Lumi. Lumi, oh, thanks. She's a mother of 2 wonderful children, and she still looks gorgeous.
Absolutely. She came in here looking like a snack.
Oh yeah, girl.
Yeah.
And her story is a very heartbreaking one. We were sincerely touched by it.
But you might look at us and say, oh, 2 women, of course they were touched. It's only natural for women to be emotional, but so we're going to leave you to get into the story. Lumi will take us through her journey, and you'll decide for yourself. While we wait for you to come along this journey with us, allow me to introduce our guest expert, who will be helping our guest victim today. His name is pharmacist Shehan Victor Ahime. He is the CEO of Vikaman Group, pharmacy, telecoms consultant, Salesforce consultant, karate, self-defense, music academy. This man comes packing a punch.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely, girl. Wait for it. There's more. He's a pharmacist, a karate grandmaster, self-defense expert, and a consultant in self-awareness, entrepreneurship, mindset, health, fitness, and a music director. Why are we still sitting down?
Grandmaster,
He's
you
a
say?
grandmaster.
So respect to the grandmaster.
Respect to the grandmaster.
Come on now.
Let's do this. Ooh. It's very lovely to have you here. Thank you so much for taking the time, sir.
So Lumi, back to you. You're a widow who's packing 2 lovely children. What's your day like on a daily basis?
Thank you. Usually my day starts at 4, and you'll see me rushing straight into the kitchen to make breakfast, and come back and pray. Usually it has to be, I have to be in the kitchen. It's just usually a very hectic one for me because there's school. I also walk. So usually I have to make sure they are set for the day, and while I'm at work, they have something to eat in the afternoon and all that, because usually they will be home before I get back from work again, in the evening and all that. So it's usually a very crazy one, but I don't know. I don't have a choice.
How old were you when you lost your husband?
I was just 30.
Just
30.
30.
Yes.
How long into the marriage? Just take us back to the day this happened.
Okay.
A little bit that led to the day, and then.
We got married 2006, August 12, 2006. And it was a beautiful one, very lovely guy, I had a very beautiful marriage, he was my best friend. I'll call him baddest. We were just very close, very, very close. And 4 years after I had my first baby, 2 years after we got married, and I took him again, I had my second. And it was sick while I was pregnant, and we just thought it was malaria and all that. And exactly 4 years and a week after I got married to him, he died in my hands.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I don't need to ask if it was painful. Of course, it was extremely painful.
Because you went from thinking it was just malaria.
Yeah.
So what? So then tell us what it was.
Actually died from leukemia, and he actually begged the hospital to hide it from me. So I didn't even know he had leukemia.
Wow.
I was just thinking he had malaria, and they would keep, I just noticed
One
the way
thing
he
why,
was and of blood and all that. But they were just, because I was pregnant, he was trying to protect me and all that. He was making moves. I noticed they were saying, do tests. We'll go for tests at Iron Care House, this general hospital in Keja. And they would do this bone marrow thing, extracting some stuff. But I was lost, I was young. I never could have imagined anything like that was happening. And we sent sample to Indian, it was to go to Indian the day 20th of August. And that day, he was just talking and just being playful and saying, if anything happens to me and I can't use my hands, will you take care of the kids? And I was like, if I was even boxing him, I was like, oh, nothing will happen to you and all that. And
was he scheduled to go to India for
it was
surgery?
It was to have, leukemia, the usual, treatment is to go to and change, I don't know, the blood cells and all that. So it was needed to go on Friday, and he died on Thursday. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my
It
God.
was crazy. I felt
I'm really sorry.
it's okay. It's one of those things.
That must be pretty hard.
Yes, especially at a tender age.
My baby was just 30 days the day the father died.
Oh
It
my
was
God.
Just crazy. Just crazy.
He doesn't know your husband. He doesn't know his dad.
Never
Never.
met. He can't even,
He can't remember.
except with videos, in pictures.
That's your son, Timmy.
That's my son, yeah.
Oh my God.
Timmy Lang, by the way, is 10 years old now. So. This, when he died, I'm sorry to take you, but this is Emotion Station. When he passed, do you remember, aside from when he said, I want to, if I can't use my hands anymore, was there any other thing that he, like instructions maybe that he left you with that you'd like to share?
Yeah. At that point, we were trying to stabilize him because it's just crazy even just thinking about it right now. I remember I still I was trying to pick up his jeans. He told me no, I wanted this particular top and the jeans. I wore it for him with the nurse because I just noticed something was wrong. I couldn't place it. So when I called the doctor came to the house, and the doctor was like, immediately the doctor walked into the room, the doctor said, we need to stabilize him. And I said, I'm not even taking him to your hospital anymore. I need to take him to Duoshule. It's not like I knew Duoshule could take care of him. I just felt like, you guys, something is wrong. Something is wrong. You guys are hiding something from me. Because the expression on the doctor was just clear. Something was wrong. So, I still came down with, he couldn't walk at that point anymore. So the driver carried him, we got into the car, and the guy was speeding, and he kept begging the guy. He said, he will call me. At that point, if he calls me this name, I know something is terrible. He said, Mama Tiny is telling you to slow down. So I was like, Mama Tiny, something is wrong. but I couldn't place it. We got to the hospital, and while they were trying to stabilize him, he looked into my eyes. He said, "You're the best thing that happened to me."
Oh,
I'm sorry.
No, it's quite alright.
He said, "It's unfortunate that my family never accepted you, but you're the best thing that happened to me." And it was at that point that I knew I was never accepted. All through the 4 years I was with him,
He kept it from you.
he kept it from me because he said, if he didn't marry me, he would have married someone else. Oh my.
Did you at any point suspect that what he was claiming was more than malaria? Did you ever suspect it was leukemia?
I couldn't have thought it was leukemia. Nothing close to that at all. Because he walked in, I remember so well, he walked into, I think I went for a scan, and then he complained of headache, and that was how I started. And I remember the matron saying, so the elephant can fall, So, joking because he doesn't fall sick, so it was strange. And then they would say it's malaria and all that. So, but at the point they started giving him blood. So I was just wondering if it's malaria, why they're giving him blood. But, when you lack information, you're restricted. It was just a crazy period for me. But the fact was, nobody was telling me anything just because he was trying to protect me because I was pregnant, So they had to hide that from me. I never believed it was leukemia.
Wow.
I couldn't have even thought it was leukemia at all. Nothing close to cancer.
He must have
Nothing.
absolutely loved you. He wanted to protect you with everything.
Yeah.
To make sure you didn't hurt. Maybe he knew this was going to happen inevitably. He wanted to save you from all the pain.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
That was just all. It was ready
rare.
to go that far
That
to
far.
protect me. Yeah.
That's rare. That's rare.
That's rare. That's the kind of love that I love love.
Yes,
I love
so
love,
much
and I
love.
always say that where's the love?
Yeah.
And then the world has become so plastic now. Now, so speaking of the world being plastic, what role did his family play in this whole situation? Did they know that he was suffering from a deadly disease?
I'm not
Terminal
sure.
illness? Did they know?
I'm not sure anybody knew. I don't think so. I don't think so. It was just, I don't know. I'm not sure, sincerely, because I'm not sure.
No family member ever came when he was ill?
Nobody came. Nobody came.
Hospitalized?
No, nobody came.
Nobody.
Still on the family.
Yeah.
How did they react when he died? How did they react towards you? Was there any finger pointing? Was anybody
Because this is nice.
saying anything?
This
Was
is-
they
this is
insinuating or lying anything?
We know how it goes.
It was crazy.
Take us through that.
Immediately he died. I think I overheard someone calling the sister or something that, Henry is dead and all that. And before I got back home, somebody was already in the house. They locked up his room and his office.
Wow.
That quick.
Yeah, it was that quick.
It's interesting how they knew when he died, but they never showed
Shut
up.
up. That's
How
the
that
crazy.
information?
I suspect they may have known. They may have known. It's possible they may have known. But because they're not in very good comms with her, they wouldn't tell her.
Yeah.
No, but that's another thing. We need to know how you got to know that your late husband's family didn't like you. I mean, you were just in love, a young girl in love,
Yes.
having the best time with her, right?
I couldn't have imagined they didn't like me. I'm a very peaceful person, so there's no how you wouldn't love me.
So was it tribal? Would you say it was
It
tribal?
wasn't. I just believed they wanted him to marry someone else.
Oh,
Wow.
oh, that situation.
Yes.
That situation.
And they would
It's
say-
always that problem.
That problem. We know how that looks.
We know.
and they would tell me the Lagos girl. You know, so they didn't like me. You know, from what they say.
The village girls are not any better ever.
No, but they usually find out later.
So I think it started that way, but I never knew.
Okay.
You know, I visited them and it was so welcoming. You know, I was to spend 2 or 3 days. They made me spend a week or so.
Oh, wow.
So I felt, you know.
Welcome. That's
Yeah.
home.
So when he actually said, I want to marry you, I just jumped at it and he loves me. So,
Obviously,
somebody that
yeah.
loves you, you know.
Obviously.
So, you know, it was just crazy. So when, at that point he was sick and he told me the family never wanted me to marry him, that was when I knew, I mean, yeah, I'm dipshit.
Yes.
You know, so when he died, they started pointing fingers, you killed him, they told us you didn't kill him. That was why we didn't want you to marry him and all that. So I was dazed, like, why would I want to kill my husband? Why? For what? For what? What was the reason? Why?
I think it's about time that Nigerians grew out of that nonsense. It's absolute nonsense.
You know, yes, it's absolute nonsense, and it's been going on for years
Yes.
and years and years, and we're really tired of it. It's one of the reasons why we put the show together. It's one of the reasons. There are a lot of things that we really need to throw in the trash can.
Absolutely, absolutely. Our hearts really go to you and your
Yes,
kids.
yes,
Because
yes.
this is a terrible thing for a person to go through. I mean, at any level, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Well, we can't do this alone. There's a reason why we have a guest expert here.
Well, I have had what she went through, and it's quite crazy that she's dealt with. And I see a lot of things that could have been corrected along the way. You know, there are ways we behave when we are under pressure, and if you're not trained to handle it, you think the path you took was correct. For example, in the African context, when you are getting married to somebody, you are marrying the family. So it is good. The man has a very big role to play at that time, I must tell you. The big role, you know, it's like change. I'm an expert in change management. People just don't feel easy to lose control of something, someone's attention. Maybe, I don't know if the husband was the first child or whatever, or the only boy, I don't know.
Was it the first time?
It was a second, but
Second.
it's
Oh,
the favorite.
Favorite.
Oh, there you go.
So you see, at that time, the guy needed to bring her to the house gradually over time like a friend till bring
So the family can warm up.
exactly.
Yeah.
I get used to having
Exactly.
a new person.
When before I got married to, one man gave me an advice. He said, look, if you want to live long or you want to be happily married, let your mom and your wife be friends. And how do you do that? How I did it was that I make her, when they're for parties, maybe when we have family parties, she comes. Who is this, my friend? Who is this, my friend? They will like, that's my friend, nothing else. Then later, your friend is a nice person. Later, I want to marry this person. They will not be telling you. That's one. Then two is, it came to a point where I made it clear that, okay, if my wife needs something, my mom that will tell me, Victor, you don't see your wife nowhere around. Why not buy for her? Then I'll then tell her, mom said buy for me. Then she too, you say, I tell your mother, when I know what dress. Mommy, I'm buying this because my wife said, okay, or she will give it to my mom.
There was already a relationship.
So I was creating that relationship, I was creating it, you know. So men have a very big role to play when they are courting. Courting is not only between you and the woman.
Tell her.
Let the woman follow you to go. The problem is that there are some men that are so good, so good that they hardly date in the first place. So when it's one, when comes there, it's finished. And the woman, but when your mom always sees you with one girl or the other's friends coming in, who is this man? You laugh at you and this, they will not be able to. And you also see you making a better choice over time. Why do you not buy that one? Okay, because it's a good one. Why do you buy that one? But when you are the good boy, churchy boy, so to speak, and you just bring one, the shock is too much. Want to marry her, this is the one to marry. get it? So that change management. So
You need to ease
easy.
the announcements to them.
Easy. So that's what happened. Then
So
secondly,
they need a shock therapy.
yeah. Then secondly, it's I don't know what happened during the first child and the home. I don't know how they do it. The mother come, they play her role. Sometimes even for more mothers to be there. Sometimes
both mothers.
they will be there, take care of them equally, do everything. Because the first time the child comes, it does a lot of cementing. Your mom was there too.
My mom was there.
So it does a lot of cementing and everything. So now the second aspect, another aspect I see was, information is very important. Information not given at the right time, it's bad. So now, I'm not talking as a pharmacist now. I'm talking as a mental, person. So you. I mean, he should have at that point let her know, no matter how bad it is. Let her know this. So she will not begin to put her acts together.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess she was pregnant at the time. I think that was the thing. But yes, she didn't want to lose a baby.
No,
But the inevitable was to come.
He must have prepared her.
When you hear terminal disease, it's terminal, so to speak.
Terminal.
It can be months, can whatever it is.
But there is a date.
Prepare the person's mind. So look at it, they don't like you. But at least when the information lands, she will appreciate him better. Okay, it's true. This really, and my husband kept it. Oh, my darling, I appreciate you. I love you. Then what do we do forward? Begin to do this. Now that's your whatever accounts and everything. You're telling her now how to go down. Because sometimes people die and lose a lot of money.
Oh yes.
Banks make a lot of money.
Off of
From
that.
disease.
They don't know that. They don't think that find a way to eat it. I'm telling you.
Yes. What if the family members come for the money?
I don't have the money. They don't have the money.
You're not
They
aware.
don't have the
Oh
money.
yes.
You find the bank account managers doing something about their money goes. It's very bad. So at that time, in fact, I love so to say, cancer is a very good disease in the sense that it gives you time to put your acts together. I'm telling you, it takes you within a month, you have prepared yourself. This, and everything is fine. Then she will try praying, hoping that things will change. Not that she just step out. Then she now knows that maybe you may have changed documents of the house, change it, so.
Ready will.
Maybe this will, and everything will be done. You get. So that's where it then. Lastly, I don't know how old he was when this happened. How old was he?
He was 38.
38. You see, it's always important. You see, what causes cancer most times? Sometimes it's genetic, but not really. There's some lifestyle that can also increase. It could be stress. It could be emotional. Kind of some groups you fall on, rely on. You see, I can see that even the family was giving pressure. Because I remember when I stopped working, it was not easy. I began to understand what Americans go, those veteran soldiers go through. You are used to shoot, used to leave the house for years, you don't come back, you are home, no job. You don't see rats, they start running on the road shooting rats. Yes. Or sometimes they become mercenaries, they start killing people. So me, I was a salesman. And my family was always in one place, so I was going and coming. My last job was in Lagos and Ibadan. So when I finally started staying home, it was terrible at that point. But I thank God my parents were very, very helpful. They will call you, my son, don't give up, this is a passing stage, God is doing this for you, and this. And so I was really happy. And at that time, I came around a lot of material that made me understand that longevity of life is not exercise, is not material. The first one is your relationship with your support group. There's a friend that sticks than a brother. It's in the Bible.
Yes.
If your parents don't give it to you, find friends that can give it to you. Just support them with your parents.
Absolutely.
But when you keep quiet, you are just in yourself.
Find your happy.
Because immediately breakdown can cause a lot of things along the way.
Find your
You
happy
can pick whatever you can pick, So, but sometimes, funnily, men, and I don't think your man is that kind of person. Some men will now pick solace in drinking in the bar. But that also will now,
or pick a girlfriend.
So I expect young men who have the funds always do medical checkup. It's important. From 30 years, always take 2 checkups. If you had found about it in time, I'm sure you would have done something about it easily. This is not small like that. It has been, I said the elephant has fallen. He has a good, he's hardly fall sick. But unfortunately, it has gone to, that's what they call infection and invasion. A time it's in your body, but the time will come, the thing will come. Understand? So that's not really happen. So I think going forward, or any people who are listening should advise themselves to always do this. And if you have your own business too, you should, pressure will always come in. You need somebody to talk to. Your wife is there, I agree, but you need mentors.
Absolutely.
Your mentor.
Absolutely.
Telling people about your mentors will tell you about the problem I'm going through, get friends, start a business friends, share some ideas. Those are all support groups. So if your family does not, that's a different ballgame, but this ones will keep your mind going. And she too will also know those mentors too.
Yes.
So sometimes
And draw strength.
you see on a Sunday, you and your wife just go and see one mentor.
Yes.
This is one mentor. Sometimes you go visit your parents. Let her sleep behind. Sometimes I make sure my wife goes to see my parents and just goes, don't do me. It's interesting. That go by herself, so spend some time and come home. So they will get to see her without me at the back. But of course, for the family, for the woman, it's not good for a woman to be going to her mother alone. I prefer you go to your husband. When you go and see your mother for 1 week, it's as if it's not good. It's like, your mother may like you, but it's not. Don't tell well about this relationship. You have problems. Are you fighting your husband? What are you doing well? You get it? So these are things that the parents will be thinking, maybe since they're not seeing him, as I'm show, I'm also learning a lot of things too. Because they'll say, since they don't see this guy, he's very actually busy, very trying to make, maybe it's a new business, whatever it is. They may think that attention is giving it to our mother, our people.
Exactly.
You see, that's why it's good for couples when you get married, don't have anybody staying with you from both sides. Stay together, do your thing. But while they're suspecting, let them come and visit you sometimes. See that there's nobody, it's just you and your wife. Nobody else, no house help. Don't pity her. Oh, God, you're all this one alone. You're pregnant. So, but when you see someone come from outside, from the other side, it's not theirs. Maybe the guy is a breadwinner and not changing. And it's terrible. People don't. I've seen a case, so to say, where somebody, a guy had a problem with his job and his salary was to be clashed for the company to continue. He called his mom, I have lost my. And all the mom said, oh, God, we goodbye. But mom, you know what? The salary has reduced. Oh, it's a pity, God. But mom, you know what? I will slash your allowance. It cannot happen. It cannot happen.
Yeah.
You can imagine. You can imagine. So, you see this kind of thing. So people sometimes, some parents are selfish.
Yeah.
I tell you, they're very selfish. So anybody that comes in, they think you're taking away your joy. Your joy. So I think you would have told her about it and to have been more prepared for it. I had a pharmacy friend of mine who died. His wife was busy, the pharmacy was going on, and the wife was busy doing the mundane things. Let me say mundane things because she was breastfeeding baby, carrying cash in the morning, taking to the bank. Any good guy that comes in, she wants to know who that person is, any customer that is fine. She didn't look beyond that.
She didn't pay attention.
Pay to the man of the business. What happened when she died? My mentor called me. Do you want to buy this business? I said, why? I said, the wife was spoken with the family and they discovered that she's not capable of running the business. If she had been in a higher level of knowing the distributors, knowing the buyers, knowing how to handle staff, that high level, anybody can put money to the bank. I have a pharmacy, my staff don't need to take money. If I have branches, I'm thinking bigger than me. My staff be dropping money in all the banks, my wife. No. So she would have been able to hold it, but she couldn't. So that's how they sold that business. So I don't know what kind of business he was into. But I'm happy she was able to start her own and do her thing, which we'll get to later. So the basic thing is that information management would have been better in this issue.
She and Victor, thank you so much. Wow, that's a wealth of information there. And I'm pretty sure Lumi, she picked up a thing or two, and the viewers as well.
And that will go on a short break and we'll be right back after.
Do not blink.
Welcome back to the show. It's still
Emotion Station, where there will be venting
and there will be healing. So back to you, Lumi. Would you say that the COVID-19 pandemic has tossed in a few more challenges your way as a widow packing 2 children?
Yes, it has. I work in an Indian hospital, and with the COVID thing, we have been disengaged since March. So, that has even worsened my what I have to do. But, the basic thing is, for me, I challenge myself.
Oh.
If I don't have a job, or I've never been married or I'm a single mom, I just have to take care of these kids. So, I just have to do whatever it takes to make sure my kids are fine.
Yes.
Irrespective of whatever is happening, and I think a lot of us are actually facing the same thing.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's not about COVID. It's not about visiting. It's you got to do what you do.
Whoa, that's it.
I love that.
That's a mother's way. High five to that.
Put it here, baby girl.
That's a mother's way.
I'm gonna say something real quick.
Yeah.
Let's define this. Do whatever you need to do. So that means you had to steer the direction of the boat
Yes.
slightly differently because of COVID-19.
Yeah.
And you give us just quick details in about a minute and a half of what you had to now do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right now, I sell jewelry. I make soup for people and all that, and people need to interview candidates. I do that. I source for. I do everything. The only thing I would do is I would do a dress or
Whoa, yes. We don't do that.
anything like
Please
this. I
say
would
very
do it.
plainly so that they can please say
I
very
do
plainly.
facials for people. I have a spa place. I work on weekends. I just have to get myself busy because I need to. My kids have been deprived of the love of a father.
Yes, so you have to become mom
So
and
I
dad.
just have to do all I can in a legit way
In a legit
and then still maintain my mental health
Absolutely.
and be happy myself.
I have to say something very quickly. Listeners, viewers, did you hear that? You can still do anything in a legit way. So all of this, I don't know, you can't make it if you're still legit. Very untrue. You need to check yourself before you really wreck yourself.
Absolutely.
That's it.
So now you all heard that she's a freelancer and she needs a job. You all go down to her page
Go to
and
her
throw things at her.
Wait, what
Throw
is
things
it?
at her, people. We need you guys to go there and boom, boom, boom. She
Boom,
needs
boom, boom.
jobs.
Yes, she
jobs.
does. She needs to be spoiled for choices.
Oh,
She needs
yeah.
to be like, oh, this phone is ringing. Oh, I got this email. That's what needs to be happening. It needs to be happening. Lumi needs to be busy, back to back. She's packing 2 kids. She's got a lot of responsibilities. Before I let you go, we're about to roll out of this studio and do the little surprise thing, honey.
Yeah, baby.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yes, I'm thinking.
All right, before, just hold that up, girl. Hold that up. Lumi,
Yes.
Grandmaster she had here talked about the support system. Very important to always find your happy place.
Yeah.
What would you say is your happy place and why? I know it. They need to know that. So
I'm a very homely person. It's just me and the kids. I don't party, except in rare cases. But I love dancing.
she loves dancing.
I love dancing, so you will see me dancing every morning. I'm a happy girl. I just have to be happy.
That's
just
the way to go.
Irrespective of life challenges, I just have to be happy. I love cooking.
She loves
I love
cooking.
So
You can cook for parties, right?
yes, I can do that.
I love that. Sir?
Okay, well, actually, I'm very happy with the way she has really turned everything around for herself.
Risen above the ashes.
Because from my training as a martial artist and as a health person, I believe mind is the master. Nobody can mess you up unless you allow your mind to be messed up.
Yeah.
And that's it's like breaking a castle from inside. So if you have a strong mind, believe in God, everybody believes in God.
Yes.
The problem is believing in yourself.
Absolutely.
That's the problem.
Because God already believes in you. What do you
You are the,
believe?
you are the miracle waiting for to happen. God has given you gifts. The gifts that God has given you may not be, it can be talents and it can be experiences that are so bad, but they will make you a better person.
Yeah.
So, entrepreneurship is the way to go now for everybody.
Preach it.
And it's simple. It just by starting small, but sometimes we have so much ego. Ego. Simple. If you see a problem in society that you can solve with your passion and your skills or your experience, start small. Then begin to grow. You may not have money, you may not have people to support you, but please never lack ideas.
Yes.
Now look at Hannah, starting from home. You could be washing clothes, you can wash clothes, ironing from home.
Yeah.
And see, people with personalities that dash you money.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to. It's more respectable.
Yes, you hold your dignity.
I'm still, I lost my husband, but you know what? This is what I do. Give me more business, let me cook soup for you and everything. Doesn't come really. I don't give you more people to do something because see that you are really on the right path. You're not come to beg.
Yeah.
Nobody likes to beg.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Even instead begging. After making some money, you can say, okay, I need investors.
Oh yeah.
Let us start a soup company. Simple. Call it one name and people be coming to you and you will fly. Than even pitying yourself and so please, this thing God has passed you, made you pass through is for your own good.
Yeah.
Now, what you have learned, a lot of things can come out from here.
Oh, absolutely.
Your business that can grow. So if you can do this for a year or two, I'm telling you,
And train others.
have people under you, you're becoming, you can even get support to grow the business. You can make it a franchise if you want. You can even, have a foundation. There are people who have lost their jobs. I've lost their husband to cancer. Make it specific. Cancer widows, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So women like you can come together as an association and to cry on your shoulders and support yourself. You're not anybody that is as strong as you are. So your job now is to go to the world and let people, let them become better people. Those that have gone through the kind of stress you've gone through, let them put a smile on their face. That is godly. And also make money from the things you love.
Absolutely.
Coming from an experience of helping people become better people, in all aspects of life, management, work, and everything. As a master in karate, martial arts, and self-defense, it's not about kicking and punching. It's about becoming a better person. Like I tell people, to be a coach or a sensei is teach people how to kick and punch, but to be a master, you teach people how to live. So at that capacity which I am, I can see that she is indeed a true warrior. She's gone through a lot. And martial arts has two aspects, the physical and the way of life. And she has done well in that. I can tell you that if she puts in 2 years, 3 years into this and does well in her business, she can get a honorary black belt.
Wow.
Oh my God.
You hear that, girl?
Whoa. A hallmark
That's nice.
of a survivor. You're going to be an honorary black belt holder. She and Victor, I'm blown away. Tonya, we never
We're
expected
so
this.
appreciative of this. You're just extremely wonderful.
I
Thank
have
you
no
so
words.
much.
Thank you
We
so
can't
much.
say enough thank you for you being on the show today with us. It's an honor,
It's an
absolutely,
honor.
to have you here. It's been educating, it's been very enlightening from a personal point of view and a professional point of view. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. Thank you, Looney, for sharing your journey, your painful journey, helping so many heal. Thank you, Shihan.
Guess what, guys? We're gonna have an unveiling on this episode.
Woo! Yes. There's a reason there's a mask. So, and where there's a mask, there's an unveiling.
Absolutely.
And she has decided she will unveil today.
So an unveiling segment is a segment where our guest, who today is Lumi, is going to take off her mask. For us, this is very significant because this is where we shed all our pain, all our hurt. We shed all that skin and we become new again. Rejuvenated. We're healed from all that pain. We become someone new. We want to carve out a new path for us to follow.
And this path will lead us back to beautiful. We gotta roll to the unveiling.
Yeah.
Do not blink. It's
Don't
still-
go away.
It's still-
Don't go
no
away.
sensation, don't go away.
Guys, are you ready for this?
Wait for it. Whoa! What do you think? What do you think? Come on, you can take the mask off, please. Woo! Oh my goodness!
Thank you, Motion Station. Love you.
Thank you. Sincerely, I'm super excited because I know how I came in here and the way I'm looking right now. This is beautiful. Thank you so much for this. It feels so